Hello, everyone, and welcome to the 17th anniversary Macau Grand Prix. And on the evidence of yesterday, today is going to be brilliant. We had a very crazy race. We went 3 wide for the lead on a safety car restart, and that was the qualification race. And nothing is won, no points, nothing. The only thing is won is today. Nothing was won yesterday other than a good spot to aid you with getting the reward today, and the only reward you can leave Macau with is victory. No points, non-championship event, second doesn't matter, third doesn't matter, the drivers will go for the win. Crashing and second is basically the same thing really. So, all drivers aiming for first, it is going to go absolutely crazy like we did see yesterday. Now, I cannot wait for this one to get underway. We have Luke Browning on pole position once again. We'll see if the grid does come up this time around. We're not in a rush this time, luckily. Because, luckily, I know the lifetimes do not like to work. So, I'm not fighting with them this time around. But yesterday's race, only one collision, which not really surprised about. Due to, obviously, rookie driver Ugo Chuku sending one to the inside and trying to make a move, basically a Tictum move on Tictum, let's just say. So, didn't really work out for him. So, didn't really work out for him. But, only one collision, and in last year's race, we had a lap 1 pile-up. So, definitely, I think we're going to be seeing more than that. I think we're just going to see 5 extra laps, more spice, more chaos, basically. I think it's the easiest. It is the easiest way for me to put it to you. Just more chaos, more everything. Really is what we're going to see in this race. So it is going to be Luke Browning on pole position. I'm going to see if they're going to take us through the grid at the moment. However, Alex Dunn second. Absolutely incredible. Oh, here's the grid. Okay, so it's Luke Browning alongside Alex Dunn, the star of yesterday. The top two, really, the star of yesterday. Mini, then Beganovic, and then we have Dennis Hauger, Mari Boyer, Paul Aron, Jose Maria Marti, and then we have Isaac Hadjar, Zane Maloney, Charlie Wurz, Richard Rashaw. The last time that we ran a main race here, he was the winner in 2019. Nicholas Solov, Lewis Van Hopen, Sophia Flourish, and Maxwell Esterson are your first half of the grid. So it'll be interesting to see. Can't imagine the scenes if Alex Dunn was to win. Get that man an F3 seat. Noah Leon, Sebastian Montoya, Roman Stanek, Christian Mansell, and then we have Ollie Goethe, Marcus Armstrong, Tommy Smith, Matthias Zagazeta, and Dan Tictum, and Ugo Chuku. Okay, there we go. Done. That's the grid done. Right. So I really do think this race, I think we could be in for a few safety car periods here and there. I think we will be in for chaos. Another thing is I haven't watched the Las Vegas Grand Prix. I elected to not watch the Las Vegas Grand Prix. So I basically decided to not watch the Las Vegas Grand Prix. So I don't. Well, I have a clue of what's going on because just the amount of notifications and the amount of places I'm connected to, it's impossible that if I see something just pop up, I look there and that's a notification. I already know that there's been that. Honestly, it's chaos. With that, I literally need to. If this wasn't on, then I would be able to avoid it. I'd say just basically sleep. Basically sleep, but then the thing is, how do you put it on a TV channel without it already being on the TV channel? Basically to the recording. So, interesting stuff there. I'm just keeping an eye. Now I already know what's going on, so I'm just keeping a tiny bit more of an eye. However, if for anyone wondering, as the live timings hate us, we are about to get underway. We have 3 lights right now on the gantry. They will tick down as they usually do in Formula 2 and 3 to 2, and then to 1, and then the formation lap will be underway. So, Definitely, I think the drivers do have to be careful. Um, if you are at the top, you do have to be careful as well at the same time. Dan Tickton really is today going to be one of those drivers who doesn't really care. He's going to send it up the inside wherever he wants because, I mean, he's at the back. What does he have to lose? So all he's going to try to do is hope, just send it absolutely everywhere and try and make some moves and I guess have some fun out there. And out of some miracle, he ends up winning. Unlikely, but I mean, it's Macau, so crazy things can happen. But if we are in for that race, then I do not know what to say. If we are in for that type of race. So we're all just standing by then, getting ready to get this race underway. The formation lap is going to be first of all. So we'll first of all be on the formation lap, and then we will be getting going. And the two primers, let's see how much pressure they can put on. Are we going to see Alex Dunn put some pressure as well? Will we see Alex Dunn apply some pressure on Luke Browning on this opening lap? The opening lap we have seen can also be some of the best opportunities you get to take that P1. We have seen that quite a bit. The opening lap can be some of your best opportunities to make the move. So he definitely needs to try and get this done, especially if he was pushing to his max yesterday and he was slow. But obviously we don't know that. We're going to find this out today of how quick Alex Dunn is looking. However, they're leaving the grid now. No such delays today with the scheduling. The race is actually getting underway where it was meant to. It's turned 7:30 for us. So the race is actually getting underway where it was meant to, unlike yesterday where we had a massive delay. And that is because obviously yesterday I think the GT started at 6 when we started at 7:50. Today we have a longer gap between them, where yesterday we started at where today we are where today 4 a.m. is where the GTs are starting, and then obviously 7:30 is where the F3 is starting. So we have a longer time frame and gap if there is any damage and any chaos in the GTs before us, like there was a bit of chaos yesterday. Green light, our is on, and the formation lap is underway for the Macau Grand Prix. So it's very crucial. The warm-up lap is underway. It's very crucial to get those tyres now up to temperature, especially on a circuit like this, where the walls are millimeters away from you. And every driver now must be a really, really hard thing for a driver to just sit here right now on this warm-up lap, knowing, especially if you're at the front, especially if you're Alex Dunn or Luke Browning. Luke Browning, not the best F3 season, not up to what he would describe his standards. Alex Dunn trying to get into Formula 3. Rumoured to not have a Formula 3 seat. But he's driving absolutely brilliantly. And really any driver, it can absolutely make their career. Winning in Macau can make their career. And it would be great to see someone winning Macau and head to Formula 1. The last time we saw that was with Lucas Di Grassi in 2005. So it would really be great one day to see a Macau winner also head up to Formula 1. And it's also great because you're also able to see, as for me, because I like F3. I kind of put like F3 as a F1 kind of thing, you know. That's a bit weird. Right. But it's kind of like now I'm seeing the stars of F3. Well, I should watch Frecker then, or to watch the stars of F3. And then I need to watch the stars of Frecker. Okay, right. Okay, this is getting too confusing now. I'm waffling. Right, back onto this. So, Dan Tickton was involved in contact. For once, it wasn't his fault. And I didn't actually know, and I don't know if he had a tantrum like he usually does. But if he did, I would not be surprised. Dan Tickton. So for anyone wondering, or if anyone if anyone is watching and hasn't watched the GT, and doesn't want it spoiled, the winner, so just go and mute for about 5 seconds until I put my hand up. The winner is Rafael Macchiello. Hopefully I said that name right. Okay, right. Anyway, back onto what's going on here. But it's a long lap around here, so the formation lap is very long and all of that stuff. So that is the reason why. That is the reason why right now. So, I've got a ping. What is going on? What has happened? My phone notifications are exploding. I hope something chaotic in Vegas didn't happen. I really do hope. I mean, I don't mind. The runway, there's absolute chaos. For anyone want to know, I've gone full in on Macau. I've gone full in to a point where I haven't even watched from Vegas, and I could have watched about 40 minutes. Okay, right, 40 minutes of the race. Right. Okay. Final cars are getting into position for the 70th running of the Macau Grand Prix. Green flag at the back. Here we go. The 5 red lights will be coming on any second. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 red lights. And the 70th running of the Macau Grand Prix is underway with a good start from the pole to the Luke Browning. Mini's got away well as well, and he's going to try and get past Alex Dunn. Now, the slipstreaming will begin, and Luke Browning will try hold the lead. Mini's going to be tucking in the slipstream, so will Dino Beganovic as we head towards the braking zone. Looks like Browning is going to cut across. Mini, can Dunn try and keep second position? Can he try and keep one Prema behind? No, he can't even keep 2 at this stage. It looks like Dino Beganovic is trying to head through. Dennis Hauger's in the mix as well. And now, Mini's in the slipstream. Dunn's trying to get to the inside line. He's going to switch to the outside. Beganovic goes to the inside. And then we have Hauger trying to go round the outside. Boyer is in there as well. And Alex Dunn is into the wall. Alex Dunn into the wall. The star of yesterday finds the barrier on the opening tour of the Macau Grand Prix. And he's done such a brilliant weekend, but he will not be rewarded with the main prize. He won't have a chance for victory as he is out on the opening lap and he's into the wall. Alex Dunn. Dino Beganovic moves up to 3rd, Aaron to 4th, Hauger to 5th, Marty to 6th. But that's such a big disappointment for Alex Dunn. His race does not go any longer than the opening couple of corners. Wow. That's a bit upsetting. That is really a bit upsetting for Alex Dunn. I kind of commentated it like one thing to like that thing. And then... now I'm talking like a fan. Well, anyway, this is a commentary watch along, by the way, so... right. Anyway, okay, so the 5 red lights went out. So, Luke Browning gets away well. Dunn doesn't get the best start, so that gets the attention on the 2 Premas. Mini's already on the inside, and we didn't really see too much slipstreaming for the lead because Dunn just didn't get away well. Now we start seeing a bit of the slipstream, but now there's just Luke Browning is cutting away all of them. So Dunn's on the outside line, 2 Premas on the inside. They go to the corner, but now this is where the chaos is going to happen. So they're all in the slipstream again. Browning is being pressured. Dunn has the inside. Dunn's trying to get the inside line. He has to go over to the outside line because Mini blocks that one off. Around the outside, just not going to make the corner. And that's what happens. And that's exactly what happens. There's just not enough runoff to go wider into the corner and have that position. It's just not possible. It just really isn't possible. It's really not possible to just so many drivers to make their way through that part. And it's a corner that pinches on you as well. So it's not like so it's basically like the circuit goes like this, and they're all drivers will go like this as well. And the circuit kind of comes out on itself like that. Kind of comes out on itself. So more towards that way. So it means that you're going through it means that if you're 3 wide, someone on the outside is not making the corner. Now, usually, sometimes we see someone on the inside not make the corner, and if that happens, then, out of all you go. Track is clear. We're racing once again in the 70th anniversary Macau Grand Prix. Slow getaway. There, coming from Paul Aron, is going to get the attentions of Dennis Hauger. Looks like he's now been able to recover that. All 3 Premas together on the circuit. Mini, Beganovic, Aaron. 2nd, 3rd, and 4th. Marty has been overtaken by Mary Boyer It seems like, from what our timing page is telling us. Now they're all trying to break the slipstream. Luke Browning's not got any slipstream to break, though. He has got P1 on the road. And they are gaining on him, though. And here we go. Talking about gaining, there's going to be an opportunity for a move in the background. Now, trying to go round the outside into the braking zone. I think that might be Charlie Words attempting something. It was Charlie Words attempting something. He was trying to make the move on Marty, but that's not going to be a successful one there. So nothing's going to happen with that. And they're all making their way through the corners right now in single file. But we've already had a bit of chaos and a dramatic elimination. An elimination which I don't think anyone would have wanted. But unfortunately we did get it. Now, Gabriele Mini. What kind of pressure can he put on Luke Browning? DRS will be activated from the next lap. What kind of pressure is he able to apply? That's going to be now the interesting question for this race. Talking about pressure, though, I think more than ahead, he needs to look behind because he's got his teammate, Dino Beganovic, right on his tail. Right on his tail to a point where he's pushing him through the corners. And me talking about Mini possibly. That's completely changed. That has completely changed. 2 seconds now, the gap. So Mini's losing more time. So, brilliant news if your name is Luke Browning that the battle is so exciting for second position, or will be, as they head on to the straight. And Beganovic is surely going to try put some pressure on his teammate. Now, over the line they go to start another lap. And now this is where you are going to be seeing Beganovic put some pressure on. We're watching from the rear wing of the Alpine Academy man being chased by a Ferrari Academy man. Both in Prema for next season. Beganovic obviously had the season there this year. Here comes Dino Beganovic now for the move. He's going to try go round the outside of Gabriele Mini. He's done it into the braking zone. And Dino Beganovic moves up to second position. Use the DRS and into the wall. Into the wall. Into the wall. We see go. Dino Beganovic. Dino Beganovic goes into the barrier. And he made the move. But he could not make the corner. And he got it done really before the braking zone. But he was clearly too late on the brakes there. And Dino Beganovic will fall down the order after a moment. He would have been celebrating that he got second. Instead, it's going to be out of the 70th running of the Macau Grand Prix. Just a lock-up. Just a lock-up. So, it wasn't even too much momentum. Just locking up and straight into the wall. So, we've got the full course yellow now. Out onto the circuit. But what a Macau from what I've heard and from what I've been seeing, what a Las Vegas Grand Prix. Because, as I said, I can't avoid notifications. But what a Macau Grand Prix this is turning out to be. Unfortunately, I wouldn't say right now yet for the good reasons. Because I don't think any of us wanted Alex Dunn out. And I really didn't want a Prema out either. However, it's not going to hurt me as much as Ferrari. Because, you know, Prema... F2 and F3 is kind of a series I like to watch as kind of like a neutral. And I've learned to do that over the years. So that's good. I was a big Robert Schwartzman fan, so I think kind of he left a bit, so you know it opened. It also did help me a tiny bit. Also Oscar Piastri as well. Do like Behrman quite a bit though. Anyway, ignore me. We're back to green flag racing. So the full course yellow has been cleared and we're racing once again. And now, what can Mini do? The gaps come down by about 0.5 of a second during this period. And now, out of the last few couple of corners we come. And who is now going to be looking for the move? We've got Prema's in there. We've got MP Motorsports in there. We've got Helga Boyer, Aron and Mini. And we've got Luke Browning trying to hold them all off. He's got a 1.1 second advantage, and it's being closed by Gabriele Mini as we head on to the straight. And now you're going to see Luke Browning trying to weave, trying to break that slipstream to stop Mini getting closer and closer and closer. But that's what Gabriele Mini is doing. He's pulling away from Aron. He's getting closer to the race lead, and you can see he's in the slipstream. Keep an eye on Dennis Hauger. He's getting very, very close. He's going to try and go round the outside. He's forced Paul Aron off the racing line. This is Charlie Wurz up against Pepe Marti, and there is not going to be anything done there between the pair of them. But Mini has closed the gap. The gap is 0.6 of a second. He's getting closer and closer. And also, Hauger is attacking Paul Aron. Mini doesn't have much pressure now from the back. Instead, he's closer to the car in front. Game on in Macau. I have to say, this race is really, as I mentioned yesterday, this race is going to be a bit more exciting than yesterday, because the only thing that matters is first. Second is equal to crashing. Simple as that. That's how I look at it with this non-championship event. I mean, I only remember who finishes first from every year, not who finishes second. Well, I can remember from 2019, but that's because it was a close one. But, you know. Anyway. Don't think I'll remember that in a few years. Anyway, right. Mini's lost some time now to Browning. I don't know. I kind of feel like saying Bortoleto now. I don't know why. In this series, for some reason, as soon as we come to Macau, I feel like saying Bortoleto. Even though Browning was in F3 this season. And I said his name enough. The Bortoleto should hopefully be in FIA F2 next year. Luke Browning, I think possibly another season in F2. Needs some work on some stuff. Maybe even F2 if he feels like it. But we'll see. A driver with a lot of potential is Luke Browning, but I think a lot of points in the season he hasn't been able to show it. Has Luke Browning. Now, back to the battle we go between Hauger and Aron. 1.3 seconds now between Mini and Browning. And here we go. Now the DRS is open for Dennis Hauger to try and make the move. He's going to go round the outside. Is he going to be able to make the corner unlike Dino Beganovic did? Well, watch him. The camera's going to follow him because we know it can be a bit tight down there. He's made the corner. He's got the pass done. Dennis Hauger's up into third. And he is on a charge. The driver who won the FIA Formula 3 Championship in 2021, is on the attack right now. 1.5 seconds till second position, a further second till the race lead. Wow, Hauger's on it. Hauger's making the passes. 11 laps to go. We're almost getting to the distance we had yesterday, the qualification race distance. This race is interesting. Oh, I've just seen another spoiler of F1. Oh. I mean, it was expected. I know who's won. I know all of that. So, Browning, Mini, Hauger, Aron, Boyer, the top 5. Right now, just looking at some of the other drivers. Says Montoya is in the pit lane. Interesting. Just quickly replying to a message. There we go. So, 11 laps to go. And right now, I think Boyer is also now putting the pressure on Paul Aron. So, both MPs are looking on the attack right now. Here we go. This is a chance for Mari Boyer. And now he's going to go. Is he going to go to the inside? Will it be the outside? It's going to be the outside line for Mari Boyer. Can Paul Aron try do anything to keep him behind? No. And if the move is completed, the next question is, can they make the corner? And he does make it. Because it does seem like every time a driver goes into that corner with too much momentum, it does seem to decide not. They decide not to make the corner instead, and that's one of the things. As I said, the barrier points outwards on the circuit. I'm also going to quickly double check for everyone if we've got any live timings back. Because I know yesterday they decided they didn't want to work. And today, earlier on. Because if I click on it, it shows me a blank page. They worked for me in F4. They worked for me earlier on this weekend in F3. And then they didn't work yesterday's race. So, a bit funny with that. Oh, nothing we can unfortunately do with the live timings. But hopefully in the future, we do get some... Well, hopefully it does work in the future. And hopefully Josh B can actually do this in the future. Because he's also wanted to do it. His plan was actually earlier this year to do it, but Las Vegas got in the way. We've had some good racing so far. From what I've heard, Vegas was good. I'm going to probably watch the highlights. Maybe even extended highlights will be needed. Because from what I've heard, it was a good one. So, maybe a bit of extended highlights. Anyway, Paul Aron's kept right on the back of Mari Boyer. And he will have DRS to try and make the move as well. Car number 10 versus car number 28. There's Luke Browning. He's just keeping the gap right now to Mini by 1.8 seconds. So he's right now just maintaining it. But it's further back that we need to look to see any kind of moves. Well, we need to look even further back because we're going 3 wide. Surely this is not going to end well. Vershaw backs out. He knows how this circuit is. He's a winner around this circuit. They somehow all make their way through the corner. And Richard Vershaw knew to back out. He was up against Zane Maloney. And I believe it was Larens he was up against. Just going to double check for us. Yep, Lawrence Van Hopen he was up against. So they somehow make their way through the corner when they were going 3 wide. 2 wide hasn't worked so far. Vershaw backed out and we just about avoided it. And now I've just seen someone saying one of the best races of the season. Well, that's good then. That is good for Vegas. Okay, I cannot wait to watch this one then. Back. So a lot of drivers then are really... so a lot of drivers now are starting to put some pressure on and trying to go for some moves. And any chance of a victory in Macau. It looks like it's going to be hard for anyone now to do it. But safety cars are definitely possible. So if anyone does decide they want to head to the barrier, which we usually see quite a lot around this circuit. We joined Sophia Flourish. We last saw of her. We've seen her earlier today, but the main last time we saw her when she was making a move yesterday on a replay. So she was on the attack on the opening lap. Driving for Van Amersfoort. The Alpine Academy driver right now. For qualifying 1, she really was looking good, but she was looking pacey, but she got blocked a bit. Traffic interrupted her laps. So, disappointment a bit for Sophia Flourish as well. Here we go. We look further back. Oh, that is going to be so tight as Paul Aron's trying to keep Marty behind, who's trying to go around the outside. Now, can he set up the up and under? It just looks like both of those drivers just go onto the same line through the corner. Richard Vershaw makes the move on his fellow F2 driver, Zane Maloney, on our F2 fellow driver, as both of them obviously racing in Formula 2. Zane Maloney won the last 3 feature races in Formula 3 last year in 2022. We've had 2 cars going off the road, and one of them was the Van Amersfoort. Couldn't see who the other one was. Couldn't even see the car numbers, as I just looked at it when I was absolutely waffling about stuff. So I believe it might have been Leon and Armstrong. Oh, big crash for the Prema. The Prema's gone off the road and there's fire to the back. There's a big accident here in Macau. And we can just about see it. The driver has got out of the car. It's Paul Aron, who has gone off the road. And the safety car has been deployed, understandably, fired to the back. And a big, big accident there. And we hope he is okay. It looks like he's walking. That's good. He's out of the car very quickly. There's fire to the back. And that's exactly what I was saying. Browning might have been safe. He might have had a 4-second gap so far. But 1 second. The barriers are close by. And out of the race goes Paul Aron. And it might help his teammate to victory, or chance of victory. He was the driver who was attacking yesterday. But remember, the car split in 2 pieces. So the back has also split. That is a big accident. A really, really big accident. And there's fire. You can see how big the fire is. Right now to the back. Safety car, understandably, out. But remember, Mini was the driver who was attacking Browning yesterday. Then Alex Dunn all of a sudden dived to the inside on the safety car restart. Hauger's looked pacey as well. So could Dennis Hauger do something? And there's damage as well to Charlie Wurz, is it? Charlie Wurz, yeah. So Charlie Wurz has got a bit of damage there. I mean, there's been a lot that we've missed. Because, well, all we know is Leon and Armstrong had a moment. Then we cut to Paul Aron having a moment. And now it looks like Charlie Wurz has had some issues. And is that a damaged front wing? It looks like it's a damaged front wing for Marty as well. Right, yeah, this is being a bit confusing now. Everything's going on at once. So, I believe there's a damaged front wing for Marty. And there's a damaged front wing for Charlie Wurz. So they had some kind of contact that we missed. Okay. Right. I think, is that it? Oh, it's gone onto the tire. And these guys are slowing everyone up. The top 4 are all in a train. But it's a 1 minute and 2 seconds gap behind. Because these guys got foaming damage. This was Paul Aron. Big impact. And we don't really see the back 2 tires make a bid for freedom. And Marty's driving around. So is Charlie Wurz with a damaged front wing. And they're just about keeping it together. But yeah, it's absolute chaos in Macau. As expected. This race is really turning out to be one of those crazy ones. So, taking a look further back, and look at this. They're 1 minute and 3 seconds back. That's how much these guys are losing. And the tire has been destroyed. With that, basically a puncture tire they're driving around with. These two. Just what a race in Macau. And is that that's the red flag I'm seeing being called. Is it? Yep, should be. Red flag's being waved. So it looks like there's too much chaos, even for everyone there. Which I'm not really surprised on, because it does seem like one of those where it's too chaotic. So the race has been suspended. We've got a red flag here in Macau after seeing Leon and Armstrong go off the road with contact, after seeing Paul Aron's car split in half, and after seeing Charlie Wurz and Marty have some kind of drama, which has meant that they're now 1 minute, that them and the whole field are 1 minute behind, and they've had some contact as well, and they're all making their way to the part where the back half of the Prema is gone. So the race suspended. And actually does give me some time to actually check if the live timings are back. That's good. If they're working for me. They basically worked for me. I don't know. I don't know. I kind of feel like it's a thing where it decides to work. It decides to work when like F4 was on. Oh, was it working there? Hold on. No, still blank. Interesting. Let me try it on a different browser. That might work. Now we've got some time, so now I can fix all of this. That's good. So, Macau GP live timing. The live timing has been brilliant. I really like that one because it obviously has all the race control messages, has all of the It was a really good one, that live timing as well. It's the exact same one that Josh T also was sending to me. Really, really good one, this. But it can't be good if it's not working. But it's just not working for me. Because I've got it, or I've also done it on another browser. Still no. That's really unfortunate. However, we're kind of running it like F1 Academy now. Like we did with F1 Academy. But right now, just me, unfortunately. My face. You're stuck with my face. And the track map. Now, this was a late change I had to make yesterday, so it might not even be the best adjusted. And since I haven't even had any time to do anything to it, really. So right now, unfortunately, you're stuck with me, my face, for the whole of it. And also, I am one of those people who don't like any breaks, so I just like waffling for this whole red flag. So don't worry, you won't be needing any battle screens or any of that. Well, I would have wanted to give a battle screen, but I would still talk over the battle screens. You know. But you're stuck with my face for the whole of it. And also now, I'll just talk you through the red flag delays and waffle on about F3 and F2 then. Okay, right. First topic. Let's get on with Alex Dunn then. Alex Dunn. Right, he really needs to see. Now, obviously, he did have a crash today. Yes. But that's one of those opening lap things. Okay, well, forget about that. We'll go into that in a second. Let's take you back to the start, which is felt now that it was a long time ago. Right, so, brilliant for Luke Browning. This is when Alex Dunn was still in the Grand Prix. So talking about Alex Dunn, we're going to see it once again if you're synced up with us. Heading down, first of all, battling away with the two premiers, lost the position to Mini. He's wheel to wheel with Beganovic, then was able to just tuck in the slipstream ahead of Beganovic, go into the slipstream of Mini. Thinks about the inside line. Mini blocks that off. Browning's also there. Goes to the outside line. And the outside line is where he's going to turn. Straight into the wall. The barrier juts out at you. And he's into the Tech Pro. And out of the Macau Grand Prix. This was Dan Tickton. What has he been up to? Barrier and collision with Ugo Chukwu, yesterday. Luckily, I've learned all these names. And nothing today? Oh, we rided on board with him, but I don't know why. This was Dunn's car being cleared. We're basically watching now a highlight, basically, of what we've seen so far. So Dunn out of the car. Dunn's car being removed from the circuit. The tyres and everything just being lifted up. Marshall's struggling to get it up, but they're just about going to be able to do so. It's stuck in the barrier. It's trying to find a good angle. Push it out, and out it goes. Okay, right. There's our race leader. Everything's gone right for him. He's not gifted the lead to anyone for a lap, either yesterday or today. What can Mini do? What can Hauger do? What can Boyer? Can any of those guys? The two MPs have showed fantastic pace so far this weekend. Can they do anything? Do they have anything to do? Are they able to put some kind of attack on? So they're all now in the pit lane. All of the helmets off. Because the race has been suspended. As this is going to take a tiny bit of time to clear now. So the race has been suspended. After the field was separated by 1 minute. Due to Charlie Wurz and Marty's damage. And Paul Aron's obviously a big accident. Which needs recovering. Okay, well, back onto the waffle points then, I guess. But Alex Dunn then, still, he's really showed that he's a big talent. Really, really big talent. Unfortunately, we aren't able to see what he could have done today. Really, really unfortunate. He obviously just got a pause getaway off the line, and Mini was already flying through alongside him. So yeah, definitely a start. Of the future, though, is Alex Dunn. And will be exciting to see if anything happens to it. Now, we're going back to a replay with Dan Tickton. Now, is there anything interesting I can find here? Because we went on board with them last time. Nothing happened. This time, lights out. We're underway with Dan Tickton. We're not underway with another driver who's stalled on the grid. I don't know who that was. My eyes were absolutely glued to that front pack. This is Dan Ticktum then on the attack in the slipstream, and he's already got past one car there. Can he get past another one? So we are seeing a few moves by Dan Ticktum on this opening lap. He's got the MP Motorsport, is it, ahead of him? Can barely see with the sun all out here, not just on the circuit, but for me as well. But late lunge coming in the back over here. He's trying to get to the inside line. There's a bit of a pile-up we have, and everyone trying to avoid. Next to him is Marcus Armstrong. Obviously, the IndyCar driver from this season. 20th in IndyCar this season is Marcus Armstrong. And Dan Ticktum, obviously driving Formula 2. Remember him? Well, obviously I'd remember him, as he was one of the, I guess, main highlights of Formula 2 back then, of the team radios. And from what I've heard, because I haven't heard any of his Formula E radios, but from what I've seen, he's been doing more in Formula E. You know, he's one of those radio drivers, so. I did see one of him just saying he's going home and all of that, and don't talk to me. So he's continued on from Formula 2. As Dan Ticktum, this was Sophia Flourish being squeezed all the way to the lovely barriers here in Macau. I was able to keep it now in the slipstream. And which way is it going to be for Sophia Flourish? Will be the outside line. She's going to just stay single file. There's a car that's lost momentum up ahead. That is going to be that might be Solov, one of the other Alpine Academy drivers in this field. Then she's got the ART. There's Richard Vashaw, and also another Rodin Carlin taking avoiding action. That's Zane Maloney. So that's Maloney and Vashaw taking avoiding action, and Flourish makes a free move. Now this is what I'm saying. Mini gets the best start. He's directly now into the system already of Luke Browning, who comes over to the inside line. However, we do see that Dun's already been passed. He just didn't get a good getaway. Mini's in the slipstream all the way through. He's not able to do anything with it, is Gabriele Mini. Now you get a better run. The speed increases to this part. Dun's going to try to come up on the inside, but you can see, I mean, there's no way he's getting through there, because Mini's already there, and you can see Mini even moves more over to the inside line. Then Dun goes to the outside, and I don't think we're going to get to see it. Mini's a tiny bit wide, so he's almost in the barrier himself, but in the background, goes Alex Dun. Grandstand's looking really good right now. Everyone waiting, everyone waving for this one to get underway once again. I mean, we had a massive delay yesterday. We're having one in the race, which I don't mind. Because we're on air. We're on air now. Yesterday we were just kept delaying the stream, and that's mainly because we just don't have. And that's mainly because we obviously don't have the battle screen. But now, in Formula 3 or Formula 2, I would just be on air straight away, and if the timings were working, then we'd see what happened with that. Now, this is why we obviously needed the red flag, because we have marshals in the middle of the circuit, and there's no way on the outside, no way on the inside, and it's not even safe enough. There's Paul Aron's car, split in two parts. The back two tyres, making a bid for freedom, and you know it's a big crash, and you saw the flames and the fire when he found the barrier there. A dramatic few moments, really, of the Macau Grand Prix, the 70th running of the Macau Grand Prix anyway, where we watched, first of all, Leon and Armstrong have a moment. Then we cut from a replay to live pictures of Paul Aron's car spinning in flames. Then we cut to a picture of damage to Charlie Wurz and Marty's car. Then we cut to a picture of them being 1 minute behind. Just one of those races in Macau. And F1 has had a banging race. So, extensive repair and cleaning required on circuit. That's another reason for you why we are under a red flag with 6 laps to go in the 70th anniversary Macau Grand Prix. Formula 3 makes a return. Back as well after a few years' absence due to all of the virus and all of that. Great to see Formula 3 back here. 2019 was absolutely phenomenal. 2019 was absolutely phenomenal with all of the 2019 was absolutely phenomenal with the race that we had there. However, we are going to quickly actually see if we can head down to the pit lane in this one.
They just didn't let me in. So let me carry on walking down. The team talking to
Hold on, let me
Dennis
just quickly.
Hauger over here. There are a couple of drivers that are out of the car, and Barry Boyer just standing there talking to the team. Some of them are electing to get out of the cars and take their helmets off just to get a little bit of fresh air, because it's hot today. It's really warm here at Macau, and Pepe Marti, he's out of the car and just popping his helmet back into the car. Do you know where we might be able to get a chat? We might be able to get a chat with Charlie Volz. And is he around? Certainly. The car, if we look down there, just a quick look down there, we are all good for the front of Charlie Volz's car. And see if we can getting the opportunity to have a conversation. Volz has been having a really good race up until this point, but he's just having a conversation, and I don't want to interrupt, but I wouldn't mind having a chat to Charlie once he's finished this conversation down in the pit lane. I'm going to stand by and not interrupt. This is the most important thing for the drivers in this break, is to maybe get the chance to discover exactly what has happened so far. But there we go. I wonder if I can, because Alex is standing by. He's having a conversation as well. So Alex Volz here all weekend, supporting Charlie, of course. Yeah, I'm going to be trying my very best to walk all the way down. Charlie, can I have a quick word? I think the answer to that is probably going to be no. But he's still involved in this conversation.
Drivers are busy.
Well, I'm not going to wait there forever. I'm going to carry on walk. Where is he? Let's have a look. Where is Dan? Dan, I thought you'd talk to me, of all people, down in the pit lane. I haven't spoken to you about yesterday. That wasn't according to plan, was it?
No, it's unlucky and unfortunate, but it happens here, you know, more often than not, it seems to me, in the last couple of years. But yeah, bit of a shame.
It was. What about the race today? I mean, okay, well, I'm going to tell you now. I reckoned you'd be inside the top 10. Addison reckoned inside the top 12, and our director reckoned 10th.
I think it's possible. I mean, half of it is just staying out of trouble, of course, which I've done pretty well so far. Look, we haven't had the pace all weekend. We've tried to make a few changes today. Difficult for me to get a read from it, just a few laps there, but still don't think we quite got the pace. But I still think I can go forward from where I am.
You're up to 16th, you know, that's good going.
Yeah, it's all right from where I was, yeah.
It's a very different...
I have to say it's nice. I got used to it pretty quickly, quicker than I expected, to be honest. So yeah.
And what does it feel like being back on the gear circuit here at Macau? Because it's a place that you've triumphed twice. Does it feel like putting on a comfortable pair of slippers?
Yeah, it does. I mean, I wouldn't ever call Macau comfortable, but I have to say, like, it's one of the first races I've been looking forward to doing for a long time. It was very short notice, so I'd have liked to have had a bit more time to prepare and done a test, for example, but. No, I'm very, very happy to come back, and even though where I am, I'm still enjoying myself. So
yeah, I know, every time we see a camera looking back at your face, you're smiling, I can see.
Yeah, I don't know why people get all these negative views. I'm always smiling.
He's happy to be here. Dan, double winner at Macau. Thanks, mate.
Thank you.
Thank you very much indeed to Daniel Tixon. Let's see who else we might be able to get the chance to have a chat to down here, and it would be good to have a chat to Sophia Flörsch if I get the chance. She's out of the car, so I've got a good opportunity to do it. Let me see if I can interrupt and have a quick word with Sophia Flörsch, who is out of the car and so far been enjoying a really good weekend. Sophia, can we have a quick chat? You've been having a great weekend, the car going really well, you going really well.
Yeah, thanks. Yeah, well, we're really happy to be back here in Macau. You know, it's a really special place in so many ways. And it's been some time since 2019, but we're working hard. A few practice sessions went good. Quali was a little bit unlucky, but yeah, now we'll see from P11 where we finish the race.
You started 19th, you're up into 11th place, isn't it?
Yeah, it's going good so far. You know, in Macau, you just have to stay calm and clean. So, yeah, we'll see what we can do in the last 6 laps.
The good thing as well is that you know these cars.
Yeah, true. So I raced with FIF3 this year with PHM in Europe. And yeah, obviously when it was announced that Macau was going to happen again, I was like, okay, I need to go there.
Did you say, is it right that I read that you said that this is one of your favourite circuits anywhere in the world?
Yes, I think every single racing driver who raced here loves it, and so for me, I mean, the city centre is just insane in Formula 3. It's so quick, and it really comes down to details here, to really small details, so it's always special to come here again and see so many fans as well.
Keeping your concentration during a break like this, how do you do it? How do you keep focused?
Well, yeah, just stay focused. I mean, in the end, mainly just talk to the engineer and go through the plans and what's still to do and to improve, and we'll see. I mean, the guys here are quick, but we're quick as well, so we'll see where we end up.
Sophia, thank you very much. Keep on doing it. Very good. Up from 19th to 11th on the grid. I'm going to hand back to David briefly, see if we can find anybody else down here in the pit lane.
Yep, we'll see if they can find anyone else down in the pit lane. However, joining me, hopefully, in the Discord is Josh T.
Hello.
Hello, right. Okay, how was Vegas without spoiling it? One word?
Ooh, one word. I'll do one sentence and I'll do one word.
Right.
Chaotic, but it died off towards the end. The one word, interesting. Now, I choose interesting because a lot of people were knocking it, and a lot of people were unsure of how it was going to happen. But, yeah, it was a good race, and I'll stop talking about the F1, but what I will say is that, F1 blew the budget a little bit on things that they didn't really need. For example, a Rolls-Royce drive from the start line to the Bellagio for the post-race interviews to then watch a fountain show. By the way, the post-race interviews only having one mic instead of the multiple mics they normally have. And then when that had finished, they got the Rolls-Royce back to the start line, and then a massive podium randomly appeared on the start line. So the time that it spent to go from the start line to the Bellagio to then do all the stuff there, and then to go back to the start line, they had built this massive podium on the start line. But yeah, back to Macau under a very long red flag, and what an incident it was, Omi. I have seen it, and well, it's not a whole Formula 3 car, I think we can say.
Yeah, definitely not a whole Formula 3 car. But yeah, long red flag. The drivers have had to do it a few times in Formula 3. Some drivers, obviously, in different series as well. But we're all just waiting right now with this red flag, waiting for the race to get back underway. But it's a lot of marshals needed on the circuit for lots of repairs. So we are just right now waiting in there and hopefully going to get underway very, very shortly to finish the 17th running of the 70th running of the Macau Grand Prix. But right now, we have seen so far in this race that we've seen quite a lot of overtakes, and can Dennis Hauger or someone have a go for the race lead is going to be the question. Because obviously we had the safety car upgraded to a red flag. So on the restart, it'll be interesting to see how does it go. So long repair time required. So guardrails to change at turn 12. So long repair time will be required. So we're going to be in here for quite a lot longer. However, do have to say, yesterday obviously we have seen Alex Dunn. Quickly, should finish off on Alex Dunn, and then we'll try and move on to basically another driver, as we are spending quite a lot of time on Alex Dunn. But Alex Dunn really did impressed yesterday and has impressed all weekend long, beating a lot of F3, F2 drivers in this series around a circuit that he hasn't driven much. He's done really, really well, has Alex Dunn, and definitely is going to be a contender in the future. So cannot wait to see how does Alex Dunn do. And Alex Dunn, unfortunately today, for him, did have that incident on the opening lap. But luckily he still is. Luckily he still proved himself quite a bit this weekend. And definitely put a good name out for himself. Always being in those results. And that's really, really great. Beating previous Macau winners like Richard Rashaw, who did this a few years back. And obviously Dan Ticktum, who won that 2017 race. I did ask you to go watch, everyone, the 2017 race yesterday, so hopefully you watched it. And if you haven't, then I guess you can quickly watch the last lap of it right now, as well, as we are in a bit of a red flag. But on that, in that race, it was Dan Ticktum who won that with the chaos on the last lap. 2018, it was Dan Ticktum as well. You can see so many vehicles out there right now.
Oh, Omi.
Go on.
I have done clever stuff.
What?
Are you ready?
Go on.
Let me just configure some stuff.
I'm
And,
excited for this. Oh,
You
Right.
should be,
what is
because
this going to be?
it hasn't been on. But if I just press this button, or big,
There you go. There's your live timing, everyone. Uh,
there we go.
I mean, to be
That
honest, that's
works.
giving me an idea then. Hold on. So many ideas now. Okay, right. Let's do this then.
But
Go.
yeah, what we've got while Omi does some fun stuff and configures that. Extensive repair and cleaning required on track. An announcement of restart time will be announced soon. Guardrails to change at turn 12 and long repair time required. So we are in quite an extensive red flag. And yeah, it's just sit and wait. But well, Luke Browning, Gabrielle Mini, and Dennis Hauger, your top three. Then Boyer, Marty. Then the number 6 of Charlie Wirtz. I've probably butchered that. Then Isaac Hadger in 7th. Van Hopen in 8th for sure. In 9th, Maloney rounds out the top 10 just outside Sophia Fleurs. Of course, in P11, then Nicholas Husalo. In P12, Golef in 13th, Stanek 14th, Esterson rounds out the top 15, then Dan Ticktum 16th, Mansell 17th, Smith 18th, Zagaseta 19th, I'm probably going to butcher this, Uga Chukwu in 20th, I butchered that, so apologies for that. No Leon in 21st, then Marcus Armstrong, Paul Aron, Sebastian Montoya, Beganovic, and Alex Dunn all out of the race.
Unfortunately, I've done that too much. It's Ugo Chuku, but I've accidentally said some other stuff to it. So, kind of getting used to that one. Now, luckily.
Yeah, I'm just gonna hide after all of those absolutely amazing pronunciations. So I'm just gonna hide behind the timing screen.
Good
There we
idea.
go.
The live timings. So, right now we're just currently waiting. As we did see that we did have a tiny bit, as we well have not a tiny bit, quite a bit of work to do with all of the barriers. A lot of changes happening down at turn number 1, as we would have seen. Sorry, turn number 12, as we would have seen right there if you are synced up with us. But we are just right now waiting in there. But would be great, as I mentioned earlier, would be great to see someone from Macau going on to win, or going on, someone from Macau to win and go on to get a seat in Formula 1. As I said, Lucas Di Grassi, the last driver, in 2005. So, quite a few years ago. Richard Rashaw, the latest winner of the Macau Grand Prix. Luke Browning is trying to achieve that this year. He won the qualification race yesterday. But Hauger's been looking quick so far this race. Mini could also be in there, and on this restart, I think we could see a lot of chaos, as we usually see in Macau. Anything's possible, and in a race that Browning was dominated. He's dominated the whole weekend. I think there might be a chance for someone to try and make a move. And we have seen Dennis Hauger do moves with ease so far today. So definitely not out of the equation. So he definitely can try, come up with something and possibly try and make the move for the race lead. And it would be a really, really great move if he is able to make it for him. As in Formula 2, obviously not backed by Red Bull anymore. He's just racing in Formula 2, as is Crawford, as we talked about earlier on yesterday. So he's still racing in Formula 2, but would be a great moment for the Formula 3 champion from 2021, Dennis Hauger, to win here in Macau, as all drivers come here to do.
Yeah, well, I am gonna turn the F1 off before I say something about the F1. No spoilers here, but yeah, well, long repair time needed. It might be a good idea if I turn the TV back on and put the Macau on instead of on my laptop stream, and let's mute that. But they F1 maybe overspent on the fireworks, as they always do as well, instead of getting vital equipment like microphones, but we won't talk about that. As you can see, we are already running out of things to say, but Omi has been rescued by me.
Absolutely. I think we could talk about a bit of the vouchers everyone's been given, as that's not really about today's race. That was earlier on in the weekend, but what's going on with that chaos?
We could talk about Paul Aron's crash, which
yeah, that's a better idea.
I think we can agree that a Formula 3 car isn't meant to look like that. The full rear wing assembly off the car. We just saw the result of the crash. I don't think we've seen the impact, Omi.
Yeah, we've seen the result only of the back already, the two tires and the rear wing off, and then the car just sparking and flaming out.
And it was quite a big and impressive flame. And a massive fire in the back of the car, and Paul Aron quite quick to get out. And of course, because of the dangerous nature of the Macau street circuit, it's not as quick as what the marshals can get to the cars in, let's say, the FIA Formula 3 Championship, because of how long the circuit is and how tight it is. It's a very narrow circuit, even a point at the hairpin where there's no overtaking unless if you are on a bike, and that is a very small microphone compared to a very big square rectangle that Alan Hyde has. How good is it to see Alan Hyde commentating on Formula 3 drivers from the British Touring Car? And of course, Alan Hyde has been commentating on the British Formula 4 Championship Support Series of the British Touring Cars when he's been on the trackside commentary, but also David Addison there, and they've done a little collab on the commentary box door. But yeah, how good is it to see David Addison and Alan Hyde working together?
Really is. As well, great to see Alan Hyde out here, and really all weekend long he's been providing some great information during these red flags and delays. We also did have yesterday as well, so definitely great to have Alan Hyde out here providing us with all of that. But hopefully the drivers can provide us with a lot of racing action very, very soon, as we obviously are in a tiny bit of a delay with Paul Aron, and also we did see Charlie Wers and Marty lose their front wing, and a 1 minute gap was created between themselves and everyone, the top four ahead of him, of Boyer, Hauger, Mini, and Luke Browning as well. And we obviously saw a bit of contact between Armstrong and Noah Leon in the background, we momentarily saw it, and we just cut away from it quickly, then went to replay, and then we saw the flaming Paul Aron's car and spectacular scenes of a crash that he would have not wanted, Prema would have not wanted, unless possibly if your name is Mini, might open the door on this restart to go for victory, because it did look like Browning was just controlling it, extending it. So other than Mini, don't think most people wanted that one. But yeah, might open the door now on this restart to get past Mini. The restarts have been one of the easiest overtaking opportunities, and Browning hasn't been overtaken in qualifying race or the main race so far. So definitely going to be a big ask, but drivers will not be as calm as they were sitting behind him yesterday. They're going to be much more on the attack, because all they want is victory. So they're definitely going to be going for it.
Yep, and I don't know if you just saw the same pictures that I did, but they are cracking on with the work. Just some race control messages. Car 15 and 6, so that's Marty. And I'm not going to try and pronounce the name because I don't want to butcher it again. Driving the car in an unsafe condition, of course, that's for the front wing being off the car. Update on restart time expected at 16:45. Now, I'm no master of time zones when I don't have good old World Time Buddy up, but I'm guessing that's in 15 minutes time.
Hopefully. That's what I'm guessing as well.
I am getting my good old buddy up of World Time Buddy. And I don't think you can miss Alan Hyde in that bright yellow, black and grey. But, yeah, 4:29. So, yeah, we should be getting going in around 15 minutes time. With all the stopwatch is saying 1 hour and 37 minutes. We have been trying to get this race completed, which I believe is longer than the GT race that we had earlier on today.
Well, I wasn't watching the GT.
So.
Yeah, I wasn't watching the GT. However, it was moved back. It was going to start earlier today. Started at 4 a.m. compared to the 6 we had yesterday. Meant that if the GT had a big crash, then we weren't going to have a big delay like we saw yesterday in this one, as the GT started a tiny bit earlier today. But right now, we're just currently waiting, but we will be getting the action underway soon. And it's going to be a big challenge for Luke Browning. He's managed it so far, but everyone is going to be hungry for that. They're all going to be going for it. So anything is possible in the Macau Grand Prix. And wouldn't be surprised if we get more chaos coming in, as everyone's going to be sending it up the inside of absolutely everyone, knowing that this could be the last opportunity, or they might be losing touch, as we've seen. So Mini will definitely be going for it. Hauger could possibly get involved. Boyer's in there as well. So keep an eye on the MPs and the Prema putting the pressure on Luke Browning in the high tech. So we'll see how that one goes as well, and who is going to join drivers like Michael Schumacher, Ralf Schumacher, who have all won the Macau Grand Prix, and Ayrton Senna as well. So I'm sure everyone will be going to try their best absolutely at the end, and getting a 5th or 2nd or something really is equal to crashing in Macau. The only thing that really does matter to a driver is winning. So that's what everyone's going to be going for, and we'll see who's going to be successful. Browning's been able to do it so far throughout the qualification race and the main race, but it can easily change on the safety car restart. It could go wrong for him, so anything's possible.
Yeah, absolutely. Restarts are always critical. Any starts are critical, but well, we're getting closer to the expected restart time. We're waiting to see how the marshals are getting on, but yeah, just the nature of this Macau street circuit. Just when we come to Macau every single year, just expect just chaos. Like this schedule just gets put out, and even before we start racing, the schedule is just put out the window. Just expect anything here at Macau. But I haven't seen I haven't heard of any big crashes today. I was asleep getting ready for F1. I woke up and there was around 2 laps left of the GT race. I was hoping to watch it all, but it started at 4:05.
Mm.
But we don't talk about that. But once we do get underway, we will have 6 laps remaining, and if I remember rightly, this is the last track action of the day and of the Macau Grand Prix this year. And also, we can't have too many delays because it's a street circuit. 100% of it is a street circuit, and they have to open the roads again.
Yeah, they do have to open up the roads. So this is going to be great though when we do get underway. And let's see then, can anyone else try? Because even if they're not able to win, can anyone else try put in some good drives right at the end and some good moves in? Hauger's definitely been really on the attack and driving really, really well today. Has Dennis Hauger so far. So definitely will be interesting to keep an eye on him as well of how that all does go. With if Hauger can now be in a position to to try and take home possibly a victory. And we're reviewing the race start once again, and it was just really, really great to see. And you can see all out of shape. And this was actually this does look like it was possibly yesterday as well. So yeah, we're watching yesterday's race start from the qualification race where Tictum had some contact with Ugo Achuku later on in the race. And there was it, to the inside, and contact down there, both of them running straight into the barrier, and for once it wasn't Tictum's fault. He was wiped out, and that was the end of his race.
You are evil today, Omi.
Yeah, it does seem like it. I am. Maybe a bit too much. But
we will get the 10-minute boards on a short call and slippery surface at turn 11 as expected of the incident that I think it's the only fiery incident that I know of this year, except, I mean, if you count the exhaust coming out of the F3 cars, like 1,000,000 times a lap.
Yeah. And really, ever since that safety car restart where we went about 3 wide momentarily between the top 3, they really maintained position. And that's how the race really finished. I was trying to show highlights to someone. All I did was just show the start, show Tictum and Ugo Achuku, then show the safety car restart, and all the way till the checkered flag, really. As obviously all drivers weren't really going for it too much, which isn't really a surprise for me, as it was the qualification race, and all drivers need to make sure that they don't get damaged, they don't fall down to the bottom. And Ugo Achuku, obviously the first time he's racing here, so maybe was a bit just too greedy with that move to try to get past Dan Tictum. Kind of the moves that Dan Tictum pulls off, but he found himself out, so did Ugo Achuku, and they're both now trying to go on the attack. And let's hope Dan Tictum this time doesn't do anything, as he has nothing to lose, so he might just send it up the inside of someone, possibly, and so will other drivers. So let's hope he behaves.
The good job that Roy Nassani isn't in this race.
Oh god. Roy Nassani, if he was here.
I don't think the tight barriers and Roy Nassani would be a good mix.
Yeah.
We've had many traffic jams at the Macau Grand Prix. Roy Nassani hasn't been involved in one.
Yeah, and Roy Nassani obviously has had contact in the past with Dan Tictum, colliding. They collided, battling for the lead a few years ago in Formula 2. Roy Nassani has not won an F1 race. Sorry, an F2 race. He can't even make it to F1. Well, he shouldn't even be in F2. Shouldn't really be in F3. He should just really go at the end of this season. Simple as that. So let's hope. He is a bit of a paid driver, so he might be in there next season.
Yep, for once, I'm gonna just keep it bland, but pay driver in F1 actually got a good result for once.
Ooh, okay. Well, we'll see. Well, I'll see later on how that one goes.
How much of the race have you seen?
0.000001, and that is because I've got notifications.
Restart time confirmed at 16:50. So in
Interesting.
13 minutes, the pit exit will be open. So you haven't seen turn 1, lap 1.
I've seen notifications on turn one, lap one of, let's just say, someone being a bit something by someone. Let's just say.
That one
Yeah.
driver actually getting penalised by the FIA for once.
Oh yeah, I saw that.
Yeah. That.
And I've
yeah,
seen
that
some
driver.
drama off, not enough, and all of that.
That one
no,
driver
sorry.
getting penalised for one thing, but then later in the race not getting penalised for something he should have been penalised for because the FIA went back to their normal and went, oh, we can't penalise this driver twice, so we're just going to leave it. Anyway, restart time confirmed at 16:50, so we are getting closer. Look how chilled Luke Browning looks.
Just
He
chilled.
is just
Yeah.
He's just ready.
He's just absolutely ready to go. The Williams Academy man, Luke Browning, as well. So he's hoping that he can end up with winning this one, finish 15th in Formula 3 this year. But he was a bit disappointed with his result in that one. He said he could have done a tiny bit better. So now he is in the F3 car, driven it in this season, and now in this lovely, brilliant non-championship event, he's gunning for P1. But he's got other drivers like Gabriele Mini confirmed to Prema next season to contend with. And then also Dennis Hauger in Formula 2 next year. Mario Boyer in there as well. So this restart really is going to be elbows out stuff between all of the drivers, and a very, very long wait for all of us. But we are going to be getting the last bit of action from the Formula 3 World Cup. We waited a few years for this, and now we waited quite a lot of time as well to get this back underway. The qualification race, as I said yesterday, still was good. We went 3 wide for the lead at one point on the safety car restart, as I mentioned. This race has just been brilliant all throughout. I think for the highlights later that I'm going to have to show someone, I'm just going to show the whole race, really. As I think it didn't get boring at all for me at any. But it does go by quickly at the same time. But we maybe had about a lap or two without a bit of chaos, and then chaos came. So definitely was really, really it really has been an exciting one. And on this restart now, we'll see who is going to be able to take victory in this restart. Is going to be a crucial factor in this one. As we mentioned earlier, it's really going to be deciding. And let's hope they can all keep it clean this time around. But it is Macau, so I wouldn't be surprised if we do see another pile-up.
Yeah, well, Dan Ticktum is still in the race and in 16th, so if Ticktum does get a good start, you never know, something could happen. But the 10-minute boards have just gone up. I know it's not F3, but in F2 news, Jack Crawford is leaving the Red Bull Junior team,
Yep.
but is remaining in F2. I don't know if you've already said that in this broadcast, Omi, but yep, some news there. But we've now been going for 2 hours, and well, luckily there's not a time limit for this of 45 minutes plus 1 lap.
Yeah, absolutely. So, yeah. Well, I think I mentioned it actually yesterday at some point with Crawford, and actually, we obviously have seen that Helmut Marko has been saying that he's cutting down on Red Bull Juniors. So the plan is to get rid of quite a lot of them. The rumoured ones to be in F2 next year, as of currently, it is going to be Hadjar. Marco really loves Hadjar. And Marty as well, both driving for Campos. That's the rumour for next season as well, that we could possibly see them both there. But at Red Bull, they might change their mind. Maybe an extra Red Bull Junior or a less or something, we'll see. when it obviously does get confirmed, and we'll continue to see the messages and announcements of more drivers and where are the other Red Bull Juniors going to go. But right now, we're all getting ready to get this one once again underway here in Macau after the red flag. The fans have still all waited, and hopefully they'll be rewarded with some good action all the way till the end. What will Richard Rishaw be able to do? Another question as well. He has obviously won this event in 2019, the last time this ran. So let's see if he's going to be able to do anything with some great moves at the end in a weekend where he would have wanted to come here and win, like Dan Ticktum's done twice. There's some Dan Ticktum praise for you as well, as you haven't really seen too much. What do you barely see from me? Because when he was in Formula 2, I think I hated him more than Roy Nissany at the time. So
Only given Dan Ticktum some raise. What is this?
yeah, tiny bit confusing there, but here we go. We're all getting ready now. The wait is finally going to be over, and we are going to be getting underway. As we just see the camera flying past Solov. Now, also through Sophia Flores, obviously had that big crash here in 2018. As we look down at all of the drivers, there is the Trident of Richard Rishaw that we're going through now. And now heading continuously down. And looking at every single driver, there's Loris Van Hopen and down with the Red Bull of Isaac Hadjar. So, now, one of the other question marks, obviously, does remain, and that is, are we going to be able to keep clean all the way till the end of this one? Because we have seen some late chaos in Macau, as I did say, 2017 last lap of the Macau Grand Prix. Then, obviously, we weren't running the cars. We weren't running these built cars. They were obviously introduced in 2019, so we ran it in the 2019 one. But before that, it was the old ones. And Formula 3 for 2025 might be also getting a new car. So maybe next year's event might be the last time we run these gen cars until Formula 3 make the jump like Formula 2 have for next season, as they're also going to be in that new car. So we'll see how that goes. As you can see, the drivers now getting, some are already in, but the others now starting to also get into the cockpit of the car. And one thing I want to know is, why do they keep showing Dan Ticktum like every second? In qualifying, they showed like almost every Dan Ticktum lap. Like in qualifying, all of their focus was on Dan Ticktum like he was going to take pole. And he's waving, so he seems a bit happy. Does Dan Ticktum? And getting strapped in now. Obviously raced in Formula 2 before.
Probably.
Now in Formula E.
Probably the last driver to be strapped in, because we're only just, 4 minutes now, as soon as I say that, away from the pit lane exit opening. Of course, I hope, and I'm guessing it's going to be a standing start. If it's not, I don't know why, but it's the FIA, you never know.
Yeah, will be interesting. Obviously, the F3 and F2 haven't had any standing starts still on red flag races, so I'm unsure. We'll see how it goes. We'll see what they decide to do. I'm hoping for a standing start, but we'll see what they do. Because this season, even they haven't done any F2 and F3 standing starts on safety car restarts. Red flag restarts. So we'll see. We'll see. Hopefully it's a bit different, and maybe for next season they can actually do standing starts for F2 restarts and F3 as well, along with that F1 Academy. Also, as well.
Yep, of course, F1 Academy joining the F1 support series and causing a chaotic weekend in the name of the Austrian Grand Prix with F1, F2, F3 and F1 Academy and the Porsche Super Cup as well.
Yeah.
Chaos.
Chaos is what that weekend is going to be. As we now watch Sophia Flores momentarily. Now we look back down in the pit lane. And we're just waiting right now. A few more minutes. The wait is almost over. And we're about to go racing once again in Macau. We'll get the confirmation what kind of start we're going to get. 3 minutes aboard. Now as we move away, there is Marcus Armstrong. As he heads onto the circuit now as well.
Not the iOS developer, of course.
Yeah, Marcus Armstrong. Heading, though, to now get himself back on the same lap as well. After the contacts he had. So it's car 29, which is Marcus Armstrong. And it's also car 16, Sebastian Montoya. Allowed to exit the pit lane to unlap themselves. So that's what those two are going to go and do now.
In other words, Montoya gonna get one of his 5 laps down. Back.
Yeah. So he's massively down his Montoya because he came into the pit lane, and so I think some work would have been going on there, even though we didn't really show the camera didn't cut to it at all. So he was in the pit lane for quite a while. As now we're just looking in to see as we head through, getting ready for the action. But right now we do have a car though on the circuit, just making his way through. Marcus Armstrong just getting himself back on the same lap as everyone else, the lead lap right now. But won't be the story for Sebastian Montoya, as he's massively down quite a few laps. So I guess he can get one of his lap back.
Yep. We're coming up towards the area. It looks okay. The red and yellow striped flag, of course, out. Going very slowly, keeping right to the inside to avoid any of it. But definitely keep on an eye on that. And surprised it won't be the last crash that we see there, maybe through the exit of police. And we've the only corner name I know of the Macau circuit, so a good start there. 1 minute until the rest of the pack releases, and I don't think Sebastian Montoya has gotten out on track.
Yeah, absolutely. Because we've just been focused on Armstrong, and so it looks like he's just gonna stay in. So he's just gonna stay in there, and that's gonna be his race there.
The one corner that looks like Monaco, but it's 100 times smaller and tighter. But it has caught some people out, and everybody will now resume as number 29 of Marcus Armstrong joins the back of the pit lane queue.
And there we go. We're now leaving the pit lane with Luke Browning and Mini as they all accelerate down the pit lane behind the safety car now. So we continue now back as they all make their way down the pit lane back to racing now. Obviously not fully racing, but we're going to be behind the safety car. No overtaking as of yet. We're going to be coming up to one of the crucial restarts of Luke Browning. The long delay is over, and we are about to get some action underway with Mini going on the attack, trying to get past Browning. Hauger, Boyer's going to be in there as well. If Mini doesn't judge it to perfection, he could end up losing to Hauger or Boyer. But as we said, winning is everything. Second and crashing out of the race really can be equal at times. The no points, obviously, non-championship event. So the only thing that drivers really want is winning. So if Mini does go for it, even if he does lose second position from it, it's definitely worth it. So Charlie Wurz looks like has dropped down the order as well. So now this is going to be hopefully a really, really tight one all the way till the end, but with drivers not going into the barrier is what we're going to be hoping. But it's Macau, so surely there's going to be some kind of chaos. But now there's going to be a crucial restart for Browning if he wants to take victory in Macau.
Yep, absolutely. But it's always Macau. Just expect the unexpected. And coming through, that was quite a tight turn through that part of the circuit, tighter than usual, I believe. But we are coming up towards where the Polaron incident was. of course, the Lamborghini safety car out in front with 6 laps remaining. 5, of course, after the safety car comes in, and we're coming through Marshall Point 10. The incident was at Marshall Point 11/12, so we'll see all the cars going through here. There we are. Anyone gonna go for the wide line? Nope, everyone stays on the tight inside line to stay away from everything. Down towards the hairpin now we go, but we have to go through police first.
Yep, we do. So now there goes Richard Shaw. They're all going to be together. Sophia Flourish and Solov also together right now on the circuit. So let's see how they're going to be able to do on this safety car restart now as well. But this is going to be really, really crucial. Luke Browning knows he's got to try and get this restart the best he can. But Mini and Hauger's got to make sure that he does not fly away from the field. He's starting to back the pack up. They're going to get really, really close together here. And you can see now he's backing them all up and also accelerates now a tiny bit. But he's keeping the field pretty much together. And this restart now, how close can Gabriele Mini stay onto the back is going to be crucial. And can he now try and get in the slipstream? And he's also going to try and make sure that we do see us. Here we go, he's gone. Luke Browning has gone, so he's taken us back, it seems like, to Green Flag Racing, as the field is pretty separated, but he's got the jump now. So Browning takes us back to Green Flag Racing. Mini's not going to have a chance at that moment in time unless he can now tuck in the system. Oh, the safety car's still out. Oh, never mind. I thought we were about to go back to racing.
I think even Luke Browning thought that we were going to go back to racing this time.
Yeah.
But the safety car light stayed on, everybody got backed up, but Luke Browning did go, and he did think that the safety car was going in, but then the moment of realization, but safety car is in this lap, so instead of 5 laps of racing, we will get 4 laps of racing. What's the point of that? Is it maybe tyre temps? We don't know, but the Macau circuit is long enough to get tyre temps in 1 lap, I do believe, but we won't talk about that. We just put that down to the FIA.
Yeah.
Doing FIA things, but we get to have a look at the Macau circuit 1 lap in slow, of course up the hill, but just before you get to the hairpin, such a tight corner. It's wide for a street circuit, but then once you get to the final part of the circuit, it gets really tight. It gets tight, but then it gets tighter, and then it just goes from like that wide well, not like that wide, but you know what I mean, like quite small for a racetrack, to then just like instantly the final 2 corners just like what.
Yeah, absolutely. So now another lap behind the safety car. The tyres really should have been warmed up with the 1 lap that we had, and the 1 lap, obviously a very long circuit, as you said, so it should have been able to get warmed up. Browning thought we were going back, I thought we were going back, everyone thought, but looks like the safety car staying out, and we didn't obviously get the confirmation, but now we have for this lap, so it's going to be coming in at the end of this lap, and this lap we are going to be going.
Is it 6 kilometers?
I don't even remember now. Macau.
Do you want me to go on the web for you, expert commentator Omi?
Yes. Right. So we should be now this lap, at the end of this lap, getting underway. And I thought Browning would have, and I really thought that Browning just got the best start of his life that he needed. But nope. Another lap out there. The safety car. This time he can start backing them up. And we are going to be going back to Green Flag Racing. As you can see right now at the moment.
Okay, I do actually know stuff.
Okay. Is it 6?
6.12. 3.8, but we're going to green, Omi.
Here we go. Gabriele Mini is going to have to stay tucked up. Browning will try and go and catch Mini out. Hauger's going to be in there as well. And after the long delay, it's time to go racing once again here at Macau. Keep an eye on Gabriele Mini. Keep an eye on Dennis Hauger as well, as Browning is really slowing them up. Getting ready to go. When does he go, though? is the question. We're still waiting, still waiting. He's going to take the wide line and then get his foot down to the floor and take us back to Green Flag Racing. There he goes. And Dennis Hauger is going to be on the back as well of Gabriele Mini. But Mini's going to be getting closer all the while to Browning. Boyer's close to Hauger as well as we head onto the straight. Keep an eye on Isaac Hadra going on the attack. Browning looks like has got a bit of an advantage. Mini's trying to defend as they get on the brakes now. Hauger's trying to go around the outside. So is Boyer. And keep an eye on this. Look at this. Hauger is going to try and make the move for the race lead as well. So Hauger's in the slipstream. Mini's going to pull out. We're almost going 3 wide for the lead once again. Hadja trying to go round the outside. Rashaw's in there as well. They're side by side though for the race lead, and Browning is just going to hold on. Are they going to make their way through the corner? Marty was super close to going into the barrier, but it does look like Browning is going to just about hold the lead, but that was so close to the lead changing right there. But Browning does just about hold on to it, and Hauger is now in second position past Mini.
Yep, and we have just got word from race direction. Maximum race duration time is 17:30 and DRS activated next lap. But up San Francisco Hill we go.
Wow, that was really a great restart to see there. And Hauger got the move done on Mini. Mini not with the best restart, but Mini is staying onto the back of Hauger. That's the crucial thing. Browning is going to also try pull away. And if he can pull away before the DRS, that's going to be crucial. And he has. He's got a 1.3 second advantage. So Mini's going to try take second position once again. But Browning has done what he's done on all restarts. And that is just pull away. And it got so tight into the braking zone. Vashaw is now in 6th position. So Vashaw making some good progress right on that restart as well. So it was a rolling start, just like we usually see with the safety car. So they don't like to put a standing start for the F3s and F2s at all. But Browning has been able to pull away. He's got a 1.4 second advantage, so it's looking good for Browning right now.
Yep, and we've got yellow flags at turn 19 and turn 22. So what has happened there, we'll see in a couple of seconds' time.
There we go. Car off the road. And it is Maxwell Esterson who's gone off the road there. Oh, another big accident. Oh, we've had another car that's gone off the road. Can't see which number it is.
A hairpin.
Yep.
Number 5.
Yeah, that's Esterson, but there's been another car that's gone off the road.
Oh, that one.
Yeah, so that's another car that's gone off the road. I'm a little bit
delayed on you.
Yeah. Let's see. Oh, it's the Alpine Academy, and it might be Solov. It might be Solov who's gone off with that one. So
that's a Solov moment.
Yeah, Solov's gone off the road. Here we go. More racing coming now. More action down to the braking zone. Are we going to go 3 wide in the background? Looks like the drivers do want to risk it. That's not going to work. And they almost collide. They just about keep themselves going. And that is Ollie Goethe trying to keep right now. Ollie Goethe trying to steep Stanek and Tixum behind as well. So definitely getting really close together between all the drivers as they went 3 wide, and that was super close to contact. That would not have worked, and they just about made their way through the corner though.
Yeah, well, still a yellow in the 5th sector, the final part of the circuit. Esterson has got going, but safety car.
Oh,
and here's the 3 wide moment, and they did bang at wheels. There was some big contact. I'm surprised that they all got through that corner, but with 3 laps to go, Omi, will we get going again?
That's going to be the question.
It is a long circuit, and the safety car does go quite slow round here, so we could get a 1 lap dash, maybe if we're lucky 2 laps. And at Macau, 1 lap, just 6.12 kilometers, 3.8 miles. Chaos.
Yeah, chaos is going to be coming then. But we do have a safety car, so a late finish. And that's because Solov has found the wall as we now are looking in with him. But yeah, we went 3 wide and somehow they kept together. Did Sophia Flourish, Ollie Goethe as well, who were all involved in that run. And Loris van Hopen. But Solov, as you said, another Solov thing really. Finding the barrier and crashing out.
It's also at the part of the track where they don't have... I didn't see a crane because, well, to the left of it there's a massive main road into Macau. So there is the recovery truck coming out the back of Fisherman's. But this is this fifth sector slash start of first sector is definitely the widest part of the track, and then it really tightens up, as if you want to call it, the back roads of the Macau circuit. But let's have a look on board with Tictum.
Oh, so that's what happens then.
Yep.
With Sophia.
Who
not
was in
Solid.
front of Tictum? Was it Stanek? Yes.
Yeah, Roman Stanek in front.
Could we
of Tictum
see
then.
Roman Stanek's view?
Yeah, that would be good. But
That-
yeah, we would be able to see a tiny bit more with that. However, I think we also had where Solov's gone off. I think we also had a F4 car, and they had to do the exact same thing 1 week ago. And I don't
Yeah.
believe in that one. We actually got underway. We ended under the safety car. Now let's hope that is not the case with this one though, and that we do end under green flag racing with a 1 lap shootout all the way till the end.
Yeah, and look at that. When I mean the safety car can go slow around Macau, the safety car can go slow, and we may just get going. But if my calculations are correct, the safety car would have to come in at the end of this lap.
Yep, does look like it. So, let's see then. We're hoping that we can get some more racing action, but safety car was expected and predicted. And that's exactly what Hauger would want, or Mini would want. A chance to take the race lead once again. And if they can, then, wow, just imagine how it would feel for Browning right at the end, in the last few moments of the race. Dominated qualification race. Has kept everyone behind so far. But if he has to deal with another restart, then that is going to hurt for him. Now, just Sofia Florish's car is, Solov's car is still there. And they're all
Now-
quickly getting out.
This is good for Luke Browning.
Yeah.
I don't think this race is going to restart. If with a safety car, with 2 laps to go, if there's a late safety car and you're in the lead, you have a really good chance of sticking with it, just due to the nature of the circuit. I've said it many a times, it isn't the best circuit for access. I think Monaco just has better access, but it's also through this tight section down towards the hairpin through Donna Maria and down to Melco. There's not a lot of access points for recovery. They have to come a long way. I believe there's one. No, there isn't. Safety car restart not following race director instruction, I believe, is under investigation for car 15 and 12. So Hadja and Marty is either noted or under investigation.
Okay, so we'll see what happens then with that one. But now
And
we're
let's have a look.
we're having a look at a replay of this restart once again. It was really a good start from Browning. Hauger was in there, so was Boya, already putting pressure on Mini. And then the long slipstreaming they all do get. Hauger went to the outside line, got the direct slipstream there from Browning. And then Boya also tucks in and gets past. So MP Motorsports going on the attack. Then Hauger has a go for the race lead. Mini tries to make it 3 wide to the inside. Browning just tries to cut across him. And Browning with the inside line just about is able to hold in. If you are on the outside line, or your main goal at that point is just to try and make the corner there. Because as I said, the barrier sticks out a tiny bit. And it's not always good. But here we go. On to the final lap. We are now. And it looks like we are going to be ending behind the safety car.
Yeah, so we'll wait for the checkered flag to fly, but we can now call Luke Browning your 2023 FIA F3 World Cup winner.
Yes. Unless he decides to bin it during the safety car. Which, anything is possible at Macau, so we'll wait for him to come over the finish line. But yeah, he is going to be our winner.
I mean, it would be it would become a massive meme, and just there's not that many Luke Browning moments, but it would just become a stupid moment because of how slow the safety car does go around the Macau circuit. But as you said,
crazy things can happen. So
Yes.
absolutely. So Luke Browning though has really done this race and even the qualification race absolutely brilliantly. Controlled it fantastically in the qualification race. Drivers were going to be more aggressive in the main race. Didn't matter to him. He kept it, and it's really been great to see Luke Browning after a Formula 3 season that was okay for him, but he definitely wanted a better F3 season. Well, he's going to have a victory in Macau. Started on pole for the qualification race, maintained that. Was on pole for this one, has maintained all the challenges from absolutely everyone in this field, has Luke Browning. But what a drive I have to say today by Dennis Hauger as well. Hauger with a great drive today, really has driven well to make some overtakes. It wasn't just about him getting free positions with so many crashes. He's made a lot of moves today with the DRS. We saw earlier on when we did get part of the race where we weren't getting a lot of crashes. He made the moves, and also on the safety car restart. Really did go for it. So great stuff as well by Hauger. Mini's always been in there. He's going to get third position just like he did in the qualification race. But he's always been challenging for the lead. And then on the safety car restarts, they haven't been his friend. He's been losing second position instead of challenging. Like we saw in the qualification race where Alex Dunn had his moment. And Alex Dunn's race didn't go further than the opening corners of this one today though. So
Yeah,
Alex Dunn is going to
absolutely.
be really upset with that one. However, Luke Browning, though, is going to be absolutely really happy. He's driven brilliantly, as I mentioned, and Boyer also, great job by him. Rashaw, great stuff also by the 2019 winner, the last winner, but now that's going to be, the latest winner is going to be Browning, though, and he's almost making his way to the end of the lap.
Yeah, absolutely. Esterson's well, his weekend has got better. He's been noted for speeding in the pit lane, while his after his incident. But we're coming up to the final corner, which on my screen is just named R. So I
Absolutely.
will hand it over to you. Safety car is in, green flag and checkered flag.
Absolutely. Luke Browning is going to come over the finish line, and Luke Browning is going to win the 70th anniversary Macau Grand Prix, and it has truly been a great drive over the last two races by him, and he's going to get his reward, the qualification race victory, and now also he's going to get the main race. Great driving by Luke Browning as we finish under the safety car. It's Hauger, then Mini, Boyer, Marty, Rashaw, Hadjar, Maloney, Goethe, and then Loris Van Hopen, Sophia Flores, Roman Stanek, Dan Ticktum, and then we have Tommy Smith, Ugo Chiku, Mansell, Zagazeta, Armstrong, Noah Leon. However, Luke Browning is the winner of the F3 World Cup from Macau.
Yeah, well, green flags are out, but safety car boards are still out, so we didn't go back to green, but it was green flag on my timing screen and your timing screens at home for car 15 and 12. No further investigation necessary.
Absolutely. So, a lot of crashes near the end, but it was definitely chaotic. As we mentioned yesterday, that it was going to be chaotic today, as they all took risks as well. And we are on board and watching Dan Tickton momentarily. Back to our winner, though, Luke Browning, who has won the Macau Grand Prix. And that's really going to be a big confidence boost for him. And let's see what that does for his career, because winning Macau definitely can change a lot of drivers' career. But we are going to hopefully be seeing that come into play with his one. Drove in F3 this season, and now he is the winner of the FIA Formula 3 World Cup. And it was the qualifying lap, really, that got him it. The qualifying lap, the fantastic qualifying lap that came on Friday, has really aided him with this. So definitely a great weekend for him, adding also 5 super license points as well, along with obviously winning this race. That's the really only thing you get, other than obviously winning the F3 World Cup and Macau. But I'm hoping that great things await Luke Browning, because he's just driven brilliantly this weekend.
Yeah, absolutely. The Macau Grand Prix. If you win the F3, well, the FIA F3 World Cup, You get super license points. In other words, if you stay out of chaos and you're in the lead, +5 super license points.
Absolutely. So let's see then how it's going to go for Luke Browning next season. And it's been great having Formula 3 back with the F3 World Cup after a few years away. It's been Formula 4 that's been continuously running, but not Formula 3. So it's so good to have Formula 3 back, and it's delivered us with a great weekend overall. From what I've heard, good Las Vegas race, good Macau one as well. So we'll see what MotoGP delivers later on here as well on JB Motorsports with the Qatar Grand Prix, as they also now head into their final Grand Prix next weekend at Valencia to decide the championship as well. And also we obviously do have the Formula 1 Abu Dhabi Grand Prix. Title's already decided, but hopefully it's going to be a good race there. F2's title isn't decided, but they'll most likely go to Paul Chair unless there is some drama. But with this, how this F2 season's gone, there could be. We have seen some drivers, the championship title contenders retire from future races back to back. So it's not fully over with how this season has gone and with what we've seen, but we'll see what happens with that next week. However, right now, at the moment, for Formula 3, the non-championship event, and it's been won, the F3 World Cup, the FIA Formula 3 World Cup, won by Luke Browning, and you can see what it means to him as he goes right now to his team, and they will all celebrate down at High Tech. And yesterday they got a 1-2. Today they've still got Luke Browning up on there after Alex Dunn obviously had that crash on the opening lap. But just what a weekend for High Tech. What a weekend for Luke Browning and and also Dennis Hauger as well. Great stuff by Dennis Hauger. And he's really going to be looking with no backing in F2 next year, unless any other team decides to sign him in this space they have till next year.
Yeah.
And we'll see how he gets on in Formula 2 next year in his third season. Did obviously win the FIA Formula 3 championship in 2021, but in Formula 2 we'll see how he does in his third season next year.
Yep, and Alex Dunn, of course, with their 1-2 yesterday. Well, he was just done with the FIA F3 World Cup this weekend and just didn't want to try and get a 1-2 today, unfortunately. But Luke Browning, you can see what it means to him. A deserving winner, but for Dennis Hauger, he was so close at the line, although it was a safety car restart. Well, safety car still, 0.347, but that doesn't really matter because of the safety car end of the race. Fastest lap, by the way, of the race done by Luke Browning, a 2:06.647.
Yeah, absolutely. So, great stuff right now at the moment, as well as all of the drivers shake hands after a great race between all three of them. And yeah, Hauger was one safety car restart away, really. Had the incident been cleared earlier, or we got one more lap of racing, the result could have been completely different. I mean, they all could have been in the wall. Anything could have happened. So one safety car restart, and it could have changed the race once again. But Macau has been great. I've been catching up mostly with the single seaters, though, only with Formula 4 and Formula 3. And they've all really been good. And the whole weekend in Macau has really been good. So great to have the normality back with Macau as well, with F3 and all of it in there. So Macau, though, has just been phenomenal. Loved all of the action we had in the F4, and F3's been great as well.
Yep, absolutely. Of course, next week we've got the F2 Abu Dhabi Grand Prix alongside F1. Of course, some of these drivers, including Dennis Hauger, racing in that next weekend. But, well, that ends. Of course, Richard for sure as well, and a couple of other drivers. But that concludes another 2023 Macau Grand Prix. The past 2 weekends we've had action, of course. We had the Formula 4 last weekend, but this weekend being the main FIA Macau Grand Prix weekend. But we've already gone through the main results. I don't know if you want to go through them again, Omi.
We'll go to the second page as we haven't gone through that one. So Sophia Flores in 11th, Roman Stanek in 12th, then Dan Ticktum in 13th, then we had Tommy Smith in 14th, Ugo Chuka in 15th, Christian Mansell, and then Matthias Zagazeta, Marcus Armstrong, Noah Leon, Maxwell Esterson, and then we'll have a few more drivers to round it off, also a few drivers who did retire from it as well right at the end. But Ugo Chuka and Dan Ticktum making quite a bit of progress today in today's race after their contact and eliminating themselves yesterday. But it looks like that is all we are going to get from the result.
Of course, we had Esterson, the last finisher, so only 20 finishers, and then of course all of your not classified on the screen now. But Macau welcomes you. Macau also says goodbye for another year, and no doubt, Omi, if you're still with us next year, we'll see you in a year's time.
Absolutely. So cannot wait for next year as well with all of the F3. But that is it then. The final action of Formula 3 for 2023 rounded off as well. It's going to be a great season. And all of the drivers, let's see what they're going to be getting rewarded with next season. Macau has been absolutely phenomenal over the 2 weeks. Big thanks to Josh T and big thanks to everyone here as well. Formula 3 has absolutely delivered. So has Formula 4. But Formula 3 has been fantastic. The racing action, the restarts, everything is delivered. Macau has absolutely given us a bang on its return with Formula 3. Thank you for joining us, though, here on JB Motorsports. And we will see you soon, next week for Formula 2 to round off the feeder series. And then next year for Formula 3 when it begins all the way in February. All right, we'll see you later. Goodbye.